Beloved, have you ever experienced that feeling of being simultaneously calm and unsettled, like your heart is caught in two places at once? It's like a deep sense of peace wraps around you, but there's a stirring deep within that won't let you be still. You might even feel as though you're noticed by the world, yet you're still in this space of waiting, grounded but expectant, standing at the edge of something that feels significant yet out of reach. If that resonates with you, know that you are not alone. Many of us walk through seasons like this feeling as though we're in between, on the cusp of something life-changing, but unsure of what it is or when it's coming. You might even feel as though you're being drawn forward yet held back at the same time. And while these emotions can feel confusing or overwhelming, I want to reassure you that this is not confusion or weakness. What you're experiencing is something sacred and awakening. This is a special moment, one that you've been prepared for, even if you don't fully understand the significance of it yet. In the quiet stirrings of your heart, God is doing something deep within you. You might not see any immediate results, but trust this. The anticipation you're feeling is there for a reason. You're being positioned. You may feel as though nothing is moving around you, but trust me when I say this, what's coming isn't built by your effort alone. It's being birthed from within by God's hand. The feeling you have is not a mistake. It's not an accident that you found yourself here. It's a sign that God is lighting a fire inside of you. And though it may seem like a slow burn right now, it's preparing you for something far beyond what you can imagine. Remember, there are times in life when God doesn't immediately open doors for us to walk through. Sometimes He doesn't push those doors wide open at all. Instead, He begins the work inside our hearts, setting our spirits on fire, so that when the door opens, we're ready. This is what's happening with you now, as the prophet Isaiah declared, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up, do you not perceive it?" Isaiah 43:19. God is speaking to you even now in a still small voice, calling you to perceive what He is doing in your life. You are in a season of preparation, not delay. And though it may feel like you're stuck or forgotten, I assure you that you are exactly where you need to be. You were never meant to simply be noticed. You're here to be entrusted. God is calling you out for something far greater than what the world has defined for you. This is not about being seen or getting applause. No, you are being carefully shaped, quietly sharpened, and set apart with intention, because the purpose God has for you carries weight, meaning, and divine calling. In this season, what's happening to you is not about visibility. It's about readiness. God has not led you through your pressures, your losses, your moments of loneliness or refinement just to give you a platform for people to admire you. He's been working to form you just as a blade is forged for battle, not for display. And when you look back on the hard seasons of your life, it will make sense. When you felt overlooked, or as though you were waiting in the shadow, while others seemed to move forward, there was a divine purpose in that waiting. Even in times when your gifts felt unnoticed, delayed, or even wasted, God was at work behind the scenes. You might have been wondering, why is it taking so long? But let me tell you, there was wisdom in the waiting. You were not being overlooked. You were being prepared for something far greater. God was protecting your depth, guarding the roots of who you are. He was ensuring that when you step into your calling, your roots are strong enough to support the weight of what you're about to carry. Scripture reminds us of this truth in Jeremiah 1:5. "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." The setting apart that you've experienced often feels like isolation, but I want to challenge how you see it. This isn't abandonment, it's alignment. God was making you like a key that doesn't just fit into any door it turns when the right lock comes. And that lock, that opportunity, that moment of alignment is approaching. You will step into a moment, a need, or a connection that perfectly aligns with your spirit. When that moment comes, it won't feel random. It will feel like everything you've experienced up until now has been leading you to this point. It will feel inevitable. This process isn't always visible, but that's okay. It's when we stop rushing for results, when we stop comparing our progress to others, that we begin to understand the depth of God's preparation in us. There will be no loud announcement or fanfare, but you will know deep in your spirit that you've been activated. You were made for this moment. Your spirit has been in preparation, vibrating with readiness, even when your circumstances seemed stagnant. When the time comes, it will be different. You won't be drained or overwhelmed. No, you will be energized, like discovering you are meant to carry fire without being consumed by it. I want you to hear me. This moment of activation will not be gentle or easy. It's not about comfort. It's about stepping into purpose with clarity and confidence. You won't just stand before people. You will stand in purpose with authority that doesn't need to be announced or proven. People will recognize something in you that they didn't see before, something quiet yet powerful, a stillness that carries a weight of authority. It's not about volume. It's about precision, and when the time comes, you will know it. If this message resonates with you, I want you to take a moment to acknowledge it. Let me know in the comments below by typing Amen. If this speaks to someone you know, someone who is struggling with the same tension between restlessness and anticipation, share this message with them. Don't let them walk through this season alone, because beloved, you are not just waiting anymore. You are being positioned. God's grace is already at work, and He's closer to you than you think. You may be experiencing something in your spirit that feels both familiar and foreign, a quiet anticipation, a deep stir within your soul that refuses to settle. There's a knowing in your heart that something big is coming, but it's shrouded in mystery. Maybe you felt a calm in your spirit, but it is accompanied by a deep, unshakable unease, like the weight of something magnificent is pressing on the horizon, and it's only a matter of time before it breaks through. This is not confusion. This is not weakness. What you're feeling is a sacred awakening. God's divine work is never loud or rushed. It often starts small, like a seed buried deep within the soil, unseen, quiet and subtle. But don't be fooled by its quietness. It's powerful. Your spirit has been stirred because you're being prepared for something that you're not yet fully able to comprehend. Think of it like the dawning of a new day before the sun rises. There's an almost imperceptible shift. The light begins to spread, casting a glow just beyond the horizon. And though the world may not yet see it, you feel the first signs of light breaking through the darkness. This sacred awakening is God's way of positioning you for a breakthrough. But this breakthrough won't come the way you may have imagined. You've been caught in a season where you've waited in the wings, where you felt unseen, overlooked, and almost as if your time would never come. And yet inside something is shifting, turning and preparing. That is the awakening. The stirrings in your heart, the sense of deep anticipation. You're not just waiting aimlessly. You're being readied. God is quietly working in your life, not to display it for others to see, but to prepare you for a purpose that is uniquely yours, a purpose that is beyond your own comprehension at the moment. God's work is often hidden, just as He works beneath the surface of the earth when He's growing a tree. You might feel as though your growth has been slow or perhaps even stalled at times. But remember, it's all for purpose. It is a quiet work, one that can't always be seen on the surface, but it is undeniably powerful. You are being prepared not for a grand display, but for a divine mission. This is a time of internal preparation where God is shaping you, building your strength, and making you ready for the work ahead. In this sacred moment, He is setting the stage for a shift that is not about your visibility, but about your readiness. When the time comes for the work to unfold, it will not be because you've earned attention. It will be because you've been prepared to carry something great. This period of stirring in your soul is not an accident. God knows exactly what He is doing in you, even when it feels like you're being overlooked. Your spirit is being lit up from within, and it is beginning to stretch, ready to carry the weight of the purpose you're about to step into. When that time comes, you'll recognize it. You'll realize that you are being prepared all along, even in those quiet, unassuming moments when nothing seemed to move around you. You are being set apart. This sacred awakening is the first sign that God is about to use you in ways you couldn't have imagined for a purpose you couldn't have predicted. Now that you know that what you are experiencing is a divine preparation, it's important to understand that the process you're in right now is not a delay, but a necessary step toward your activation. There have been seasons where you've faced struggles, times when you felt isolated, uncertain, or even abandoned. You've walked through moments where others seemed to progress while you remained in the background, where your efforts felt unnoticed, and where your growth was unseen. But let me reassure you, none of this has been wasted. This is not a delay. This is God's process of preparation for something far greater. Think of the process of refining gold. Gold in its raw form is full of impurities. It has to be heated, melted, and sifted in order to purify it. This refining process can feel intense, even painful. But without it, the gold would remain impure, unable to take its true shape or shine with its full potential. Likewise, God has been refining you. You've walked through challenges that have shaped your character, developed your faith, and fortified your resolve. These struggles were never meant to break you. They were meant to prepare you for the weight of the calling that God has on your life. The waiting seasons, the quiet moments, and even the trials you've endured have all been part of this divine preparation. It might have felt like you were being held back, but in reality, God was ensuring that you were being formed with depth, strength, and substance. You are not being prepared to shine for a moment, but to endure for a lifetime. You're not being molded for fleeting applause or recognition, but to carry out a purpose that will impact lives in ways you may not yet see. In Jeremiah 1:5, God declares, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." This scripture is a reminder that even before you were born, before you took your first breath, God had already chosen you for something great. He set you apart from the very beginning, not to be ordinary, but to be extraordinary. And this setting apart often feels like isolation, like you've been left behind or forgotten. But I want to shift your perspective. What you've experienced as isolation is not abandonment, it's alignment. God has been positioning you, preparing you in secret for the moment when He will use you in ways you never imagined. Trusting the process means trusting that every moment of waiting, every season of discomfort, and every experience of feeling unnoticed has a purpose. The struggles were not meant to break you, they were meant to strengthen you. The times when you felt overlooked were God's way of keeping you hidden, safeguarding your potential, so that when the time came, you would be ready for the responsibility that comes with your calling. This process wasn't a delay, it was divine preparation. God was ensuring that you would not only be visible when the time came, but that you would be ready. It's easy to think that visibility is the goal, that being seen by others is the mark of success. But what God is working in your life is far more important than any moment of recognition. He's preparing you for battle, not for applause. When the time comes for you to step into your purpose, it won't be about the accolades or the attention, it will be about the impact you are called to make. You're being shaped, molded, and refined for something far greater than what you see in the world around you. You may not understand the process fully right now, but the readiness you're being prepared for is more important than anything visible. God is aligning you with His purpose, and His timing is always perfect. When the time comes, you won't have to strive for success. You'll simply step into it because you've been prepared with substance, strength, and a depth of purpose that can't be achieved in a moment's notice. As you go through this process of preparation, it's essential to embrace the truth that readiness is more important than visibility. In a world obsessed with instant success, social media attention, and public recognition, it's easy to be distracted by the desire for visibility. But the truth is that visibility without readiness can be dangerous. God is not preparing you to be a spectacle. He is preparing you to be a vessel of purpose, a carrier of His presence, and an instrument of His will. Think about a sword being forged in the fire. The process is long, intense, and requires great care. A sword that is rushed through the process is not strong enough to be used in battle. Likewise, your readiness is being developed through the fire, Through the waiting, through the challenges, and through the quiet moments of preparation, God is shaping you not for a moment of visibility, but for a lifetime of purpose. And when the time comes for you to step into your calling, you will be ready, not because you've chased after visibility, but because you've been grounded in readiness. So if you're feeling the weight of this season, if you're in a place where it feels like nothing is happening, know that you are not stuck. You're being shaped. Your readiness is being built in the secret places, in the quiet moments where no one can see. God is at work in you, preparing you for the greater things He has in store. Trust the process. Trust that every step you take, every trial you endure is leading you to a place of activation. When the time comes for you to step into your purpose, you will not only be visible, but you will be strong, ready, and equipped for everything that lies ahead. There comes a moment when everything that has been quietly building within you will suddenly find its purpose. But let me be clear, when that moment of activation comes, it will not be the grand, noisy event you might expect. It will not be marked by loud fanfare or the clamour of attention-seeking actions. No, this moment will be quiet, subtle, and profound. It will feel almost like a natural unfolding, a moment when all the work you've been doing internally behind the scenes finally aligns with your purpose. God's timing is never rushed, and His methods are rarely overt. He doesn't need to announce His plans for you to feel the weight of their significance. Activation comes with purpose, precision, and alignment, and when it does, it will happen, not because you've worked tirelessly to be noticed, but because you've been quietly prepared to carry out a divine task. Think about an artist preparing a masterpiece. They don't rush the process, but carefully, deliberately, layer by layer, they bring the work to life. It's only when the time is right that they step back and say, "It is finished." The moment of activation for you will feel like that, a sudden but undeniable recognition of purpose where everything that has been silently growing inside you bursts forth into action. When God activates you, it won't be about gaining attention or approval from the world around you. It won't be about impressing anyone or proving yourself. It will be a precise deployment, a divine calling that will carry authority and power. You will step into the space that God has prepared for you, and when you do, it won't be because you've worked to be noticed. It will be because you've been prepared, shaped, and refined to carry out something far more significant than just standing in front of people. Your purpose won't come with grandiosity. It will come with clarity and authority. When you step into that moment, you will recognize it even if others don't immediately. Your presence won't need to demand attention. It will carry weight not from noise, but from the quiet power of divine alignment. It won't be about performing or striving to impress. You'll step forward with confidence because you will know that you are exactly where God wants you to be, doing exactly what He has called you to do. As your activation unfolds, you will understand that you were never meant to chase after the world's expectations. You were created to fulfill a higher calling, one that requires focus, strength, and purpose. You won't need to be busy or distracted, constantly seeking validation. Instead, you'll be deployed with precision, called to a mission that aligns with your deepest strengths, your most authentic self. In this moment, you will know that the work you've been prepared for is finally here. And though it may not come with the fanfare of the world, it will come with the unmistakable clarity that this is your moment of purpose. As you prepare for activation, there's something you need to understand about growth. True growth always comes with discomfort. The deeper the growth, the more profound the discomfort. Growth isn't comfortable. It's often messy, challenging, and even painful. But it's this discomfort that signals your elevation. You can't grow without being stretched. And just like a seed buried deep in the earth has to break open to reach the light, you too are being stretched to your limits, not to break you, but to elevate you. You might be feeling that discomfort right now, like something in you is being stretched and reshaped, pushing you beyond the boundaries you've known. This discomfort isn't a sign that something is wrong, it's a sign that something is right. God is taking you to a new place, a place of greater purpose, greater impact, and greater responsibility. And to get there, he has to stretch you. He has to take you out of your comfort zone and into the unknown. The discomfort you feel is the preparation for the bigger thing ahead. It's the growing pains of a purpose that is ready to unfold. But don't be afraid of this discomfort. It's a necessary part of your process. As you grow, you will begin to see that the small, seemingly insignificant moments are actually the very building blocks of the significant shifts that are about to happen. Growth doesn't happen in one big leap. It happens in small, consistent steps, often in moments when you least expect it. You might not recognize the significance of these small moments at first, but over time you will see how they've led you to where you are meant to be. These small moments of growth, when you choose to act in faith, when you choose to speak up in moments of doubt, when you decide to take a step forward, even though you're not sure what's ahead, are the moments that lead to the big shifts. They are the moments that are quietly preparing you for the bigger, more visible moments that will come later. So don't be discouraged when you don't see immediate results or when you feel like your progress is slow. Every step you take is part of a greater process of elevation. And when you look back, you'll see how all those small moments came together to form something much bigger than you ever imagined. You're no longer auditioning for your purpose, you're beginning to function in it. This is where the shift happens. No longer will you be striving to prove yourself. No longer will you be waiting for permission to step into your calling. You're beginning to step into the fullness of who you were created to be. It won't always be easy and it won't always feel comfortable, but it will be worth it. Every moment of growth, every step of faith, and every act of obedience is a part of the journey that leads to the activation of your purpose. You are growing into the person you were always meant to be. This process of growth, though sometimes uncomfortable, is a necessary part of the elevation that God is bringing you into. You're being stretched because you're being prepared for something bigger. You're being shifted into alignment with the purpose God has been preparing you for all along. In the midst of this process of activation and growth, it's important to remember one crucial principle: faithfulness. Faithfulness in the small things, in the unseen moments, in the quiet acts of obedience. It is in these small moments that heaven is paying attention. God isn't just looking for big gestures of success or moments of fame. He's looking for faithfulness in the day-to-day, in the quiet moments when no one is watching. Jesus himself reminded us of the importance of faithfulness in Luke 16:10, where he said, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much." Your faithfulness in the small things is what prepares you for the greater things ahead. God doesn't overlook the seemingly insignificant moments. Heaven values every act of obedience, every moment when you choose to honor God even when no one else sees it. These are the moments that build your capacity to carry greater responsibility. In the world's eyes, the small moments may seem insignificant, but in God's eyes, they are the very things that shape your character, strengthen your faith, and prepare you for the big things ahead. If you're faithful in the little things, God will entrust you with more. This is how his kingdom works, through faithfulness, humility, and trust. The small things you do today are laying the foundation for the bigger things you will do tomorrow. As you walk through this season of growth and activation, I encourage you to stay faithful. Don't overlook the small moments, the quiet acts of obedience, or the behind-the-scenes work. Every moment counts. Your faithfulness in these small things is what will position you for the greater things that God has in store for you. The shift you're experiencing now is not just about the big, visible moments. It's about the small, quiet shifts that are happening inside you, the moments when you choose to act in faith even when no one is watching. These are the moments that shape your destiny. So embrace the process. Trust the journey, and know that as you remain faithful in the small things, God is preparing you for the big things. Your activation is coming, and when it does, you will be ready to step into the purpose that God has been preparing you for all along. Keep trusting, keep growing, and keep being faithful. The best is yet to come. As we draw to the close of this message, I want to take a moment to encourage you: embrace the discomfort. Embrace the changes and embrace the tension you're feeling. These feelings are not signs of something gone wrong. They are divine signals that you are exactly where you need to be. The discomfort is part of your transformation. It's a sign that something new is being birthed in you, something powerful that's preparing to emerge. Just as the seed must break open to allow the plant to grow, so too must you embrace the process of breaking through. The growing pains you are feeling now are the very things that will launch you into the next season of your life, a season of greater purpose, greater impact, and greater fulfillment. Right now you may feel uncertain, and that's okay. But I want to remind you that you are not just preparing anymore, you are becoming. The process of preparation has led you to this very moment, and now you're being shaped into the person who will walk boldly into the purpose God has destined for you. You're no longer the same person you were when this journey began. You have been through trials, struggles, and moments of doubt, and yet through it all you've been transformed. God has been refining you, strengthening you, and preparing you for something greater than you can imagine. The best part. You're ready now. It's not about waiting for a better version of yourself. It's about stepping into the version of yourself that has been forged through the fire of experience, wisdom, and divine preparation. The path ahead may not always be clear, and you might still feel a bit of tension between what was and what is to come. But know this, you are not stuck in transition anymore. You're not waiting for something to change. You're in the process of being activated. The shift that has been happening inside you is now becoming evident in your actions, in the choices you make, and in the way you move through the world. You are being positioned for something powerful, something that will bring not only change to your life, but also impact those around you. You're not just preparing for a new season, you're entering it. You're stepping into a time where the things you've been through will serve a higher purpose. Every trial, every struggle, and every moment of waiting has shaped you for this exact moment. God has been aligning you, refining you, and now He is ready to use you in ways that will not only change your life, but will shift the atmosphere around you. The discomfort you're feeling is the sign of new growth. The uncertainties you're facing are the seeds of transformation. You're being prepared not for ordinary things, but for extraordinary things. This is a season of divine positioning, and you have been set apart for something far beyond what you may have imagined. The old ways of thinking, the old limitations, and the old fears have no place in the new season you are stepping into. You are being elevated, and you are becoming the person God has always called you to be. As you step into this new season, remember that you are not waiting for the door to open. You are the door. You are the vessel through which God's power and purpose will flow. The time for waiting is over. The time for action has come. You are ready. You are equipped. You're positioned for greatness. Now, I want to invite you to take a moment of reflection. Reflect on your journey, on the struggles you've faced, the lessons you've learned, and the growth that's happened inside you. Take a deep breath and acknowledge the shift that's taking place in your life. You're no longer waiting, you are becoming. You're being activated for something greater. If this message resonates with you, if you feel that stirring in your spirit, I want to hear from you. Type Amen in the comments below as a declaration of agreement. Let this be your way of saying, I'm stepping into my new season. I'm embracing the discomfort. I'm ready for what God has for me. And if someone comes to mind as you sit with these words, someone who is also walking through a season of transition, uncertainty, or growth, I encourage you to share this message with them. You never know how much your words, your encouragement, or this message might lift someone who is feeling the weight of change and is in need of hope. Share it with a friend, a family member, or anyone you know who might be walking through the same transformation. You don't have to go through this process alone. There are others out there who need to hear this message as well. Let's continue to walk this journey together. Remember, you're not waiting anymore. You are being positioned. God is doing something incredible in your life, and it's time to step forward with confidence, knowing that you are equipped, you are ready, and you are destined for greatness. The doors are opening. The moment of activation has arrived. It's your time to shine. Don't wait any longer. Step into the purpose and destiny God has set before you. You're not just preparing for something bigger, you're living it right now. Keep moving forward with boldness, knowing that the best is yet to come. Let's embrace the change. Let's embrace the new soon season. Together we are positioned for something powerful.